Looks like he was dragged and thrown.
I think he's breathing.
Help me, I'm still alive. Not dead yet.
Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and today I am joined by Greyshot151.
Hello there.
And we are going to be watching a movie called Them. We had this on VHS growing up. It was thrown out in the garbage when we were moving by accident, but today we look back on this film for the Creature Feature channel and see if this film actually holds up, being the predecessor to a ton of B movies.
If not like the B movie. I remember this fondly as a kid. I've not seen it in probably a decade. So it'll be interesting to see with like a fresh pair of eyes how well this movie holds up.
No, that is honest and fair, because this movie came out, oh god, at this rate, it's like 67 years ago.
So yeah, let's see how well these effects hold up 67 years after the date. Or the characters, you know, that kind of stuff.
Can you imagine CGI 67 years from now? Oh god.
Anyway, I want to see practical effects. I think it's going to come back. We're going to be building giant robots for movies. Pacific Rim is going to become...
That would be awesome. But here, let's get into Them. Alright, Them!
I remember when they used to introduce people in the movie because the people were the big thing, not the movie itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of hiding the person, because they're like, oh shoot, we don't want people to get mad if this is bad. Would you be shocked if I said this movie was originally supposed to be in color and in widescreen?
It was.
Would it be also a shock to say that it was supposed to be in 3D?
Wait, what? But why did they change it? What happened? Just the tech wasn't there?
Like 2 days before they started shooting, they cut the budget. They were originally selling the script to, I think it was Paramount, but Paramount offered them so much money that they're like, hold up, wait, what?
You actually think this is good? Well, yeah, you can really tell, like, by the name, it's like they didn't believe in the title because of giant ants.
Are they originally looking for people illegally crossing the border? They're like, alright, we got a girl.
This is what they used to do back in the day. They don't have drones, they have a guy in a biplane. You know, like,
he's doing tricks and stuff like that. People are watching like, oh, that's cool. And then he's like, alright, I got 4 people.
That guy had the door open for, like... Also, they're in that uniform in the New Mexican desert. She is selling like she's in a state of shock.
Also, that's a good plane shot of like flying across and then they pick up the girl.
Because it's all practical. They have to.
Yeah.
They probably were just like, listen, fly around. That they were like, oh my god, that shot looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh yes, let me put my hands all over the crime scene.
Back then they didn't have that kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Location previously reported by 301A. Will dispatch ambulance.
Again, subtle. I don't know. I like that little like detective work. I mean, going around finding little pieces.
Yeah, it's not much, but it adds just a little note of he notices like some small things.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a good way to corroborate.
In the wind.
That was good.
That's a little. That's good. That's a little creepy.
Like,
not perfect, but it's.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly done, but the fact like. Nowadays, I think you change the shot, but the idea, like the audience sees it, but they don't. It's still very creepy. And again, you don't see the destruction. You see them walking in, and like immediately realizing something's off.
Yeah.
The guy pulled his gun. Like he knows. Like that's all you need to say.
Yeah,
you don't need them saying, "Oh my God, what's going on? What's this?" You just need silent motions that convey, or like silent actions that convey exactly what's going on. And that I love.
Also, the wind
guy just pulls his gun like.
They just no words like. What?
Like, something just bent a gun, not like a Winchester like rifle kind of deal, you know?
Yeah, it's like. What?
Looks like he was dragged and thrown.
I think he's breathing.
Help me, I'm still alive. Not dead yet.
It's like, I need to make sure it's not the other white stuff.
Yeah, it's cocaine. We're taking it. We need to forget this day.
My only thing is, now knowing the monster, you figure that they would dig in there and grab the body and take it. But unless they're like, it's too weird. Let's
It
just
can't reach it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
I'll grab
thinking.
the sugar.
If you were to redo it, have small ants and big ants. That way you could have like them taking the sugar and the big ones protect them or something. It's definitely a different type of style. It's all exposition, no real character building.
A little bit. Like, okay, so like with the officer, like he lost his partner, right?
Yeah.
Also, how he handled the girl, I have no idea if they implied this, but the way he was like making sure and constantly checking, right?
Yeah.
Makes me think of like someone who's lost their family and is like cares for other, again, little like stuff that you wouldn't even notice. But if you were to transfer this to modern day, I could see this being
that's what I would add to it. I'd like, yeah.
The main guy loses his family, loses his partner, like a little bit more on edge. And again, he's the one who gets her. I also like that you could set up a good, like that was perfect for a jump scare, but it's well done. It makes sense.
It's a little, yeah, it's still cheesy. It's still nice.
It's cheesy, but it like,
again, modern day.
2 + 2 = 4. Not in some creature features where it's 3 + 7 = hullabaloo. It's weird how the FBI agent is the one that's more aggressive, where the other officer lost.
Do you know who I'd make him? But like, if I could redo this movie, I'd make him like the guy from the Iron Giant, the guy that comes to research. Like you'd have.
Oh my god, he looks like it.
Yeah, he really does. But you could work with that personality. Like I'm from the FBI, and I will again another a criticism for this is they're not acting like people that think that they know what's going on. You know, like. And people complain about the police being, you know, overarmed. This is why they need it. Giant ants in New Mexico.
Yeah, you know, if you have an emergency, pop out your Thompson in the back of the car. Immediately, you're pop and lock.
Pop and lock, yeah.
What happens after that?
We then drop cyanide gas into the opening and kill them.
How can you be sure you get all of them?
We go into the nest and find out.
I know that's meant for like a stinger for like shit, but that's
cut to Starship Troopers. Don't piss him off. You need so much more. I mean, I don't know cyanide proportions, but that just seems like you need so much more.
Yeah, he seemed to be
Like you need.
I could make a joke about the Americans borrowing some German scientists, so they would be able to calculate that, but you know, that would be really, really dark. Again, I would have like dozens of men just surrounding that. Any antenna comes above that thing once, everyone fires. God, this is creepy. You're finding a bunch of dead ones. You're like, is it actually dead?
And if you think about it, like, this is like the norm, or like you would expect this at the end of another movie, right? Like they just killed all you kill all the ants. You've dealt with the problem. They're lighting those on fire. You gotta appreciate that.
So, fun thing. Would you like to know how they did the flamethrowers?
Oh, yeah. How'd they do it?
Oh. They got real flamethrowers.
They just lit their props on
the
fire?
The army's like, here's flamethrowers. We'll go through some training. So they got military guys to do it.
I mean, a lot of this, I think this works out better as black and white. A lot of the creep factor is the black ants, right? And you don't see, like, if they were like green and purple, they kind of might have looked hokey, but here, the black and white adds to that creepiness.
We haven't seen the end of them. We've only had a close view of the beginning of what may be the end of us.
He likes
Better inform Washington, General.
He likes spewing the philosophical stuff.
Yeah, the whole them, like how he like that was actually pretty good. We haven't seen the last of them, and it's like that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we halfway through? We are halfway through this movie. Yeah, that would have been, that's like you get two movies. You get the sequel and the original, basically.
But anyway, now we get to everyone's favorite part of a 1950s monster movie, the presentation and history lesson. Or educational lesson.
This is... Okay, I hate to say it for the 1950s, but thank God for American education, where we don't need this kind of detail. It's like, do you know what ants are? Yes. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. I love how people are like, well, back in, like, older movies, they didn't talk down to their audiences. In some instances, this movie, yes. In this direct instance, no, they're literally being like,
they are
"Excuse
talking
me."
down because the people that they're expecting are like, no, they're idiots. They look at the things on the ground, they see black dots moving, and they're like, yeah, yes, we don't need this. If I were to, again, if they were to make a like a remake of this, I hope someone's doing a presentation of ants and the ants bust through and
you could have like,
them.
all right, what are the important things we should know about this thing? Well, ants are this, and this. Like, you can do like 4 things. We don't need to see an ant digging. We don't need to see how an ant digs.
Because do you think that the average audience is why are giant ants bad? They kill people, but we shoot them. How bad could they be?
Yeah, because they can multiply very quickly, and if they multiply too quickly, we're done.
They're also armored, like completely armored head to toe. So
yeah, the guy had a rifle, and guess what? He didn't have enough bullets in it to deal with it. The guy had a pistol, didn't have enough bullets to deal with it.
yeah,
My only thing I will say about this as well is, the ants, I think, especially for 1950s, look good. Like, I think they look fine. The problem is, I don't think they move well. God, the guy at the bottom left is like, why am I here? I'm in this movie right now. Let me just smoke. I just want to get through this.
the cigarette isn't too bad.
My doctor says it helps relieve stress.
It's
They say that
they say it's going to kill me, but I'm going to kill this man if I don't have this.
We'll speak to the doctor about it. I sure would appreciate it. Try and get my clothes, too. They wouldn't give me nothing but these slippers. Wouldn't even give me a rope to...
He's to have absolutely no visitors. And if any information is given out about him, Washington will hold you responsible.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry I can't tell you why this is essential. We'll let you know
This poor guy in solitary confinement.
For days.
Days.
And that's like, it's fine. Do not know exact location. Giant ants. Oh, there's a guy hanging!
Can't risk it, sir.
But you already have. The entire crew of the cruiser Milwaukee knows about these things now.
Wrong.
I know it, sir, but the Milwaukee will be kept at sea until this crisis is resolved.
Don't worry, the sailors won't be able to radio their families about the horror that could be awaiting them.
And some guys in solitary confinement. Holy crap. When everyone's like, oh, the government sucks, I give you this movie is like, yes, we condone this behavior.
The good news is, even though, by the way, that scene of them, like, boarding the ship was great. Like,
Yeah,
that whole,
right.
like...
Top tier.
Is the only job you've ever had?
Yes, sir.
Again, I don't know why some of the characters are still going where they are. It doesn't...
Yeah.
Cop seems to think you made
It's very
a deal
strange.
We need to keep, again, 50s. Have
We need to keep the
same
main
cast.
I mean, I get it, but...
The government would take over. Maybe the... But again, the detective is the one who talks to family and stuff like that.
He's the one that's actually being a human. I hope, I swear, I think I know how this movie ends, and I'm going to be very mad if it happens.
I'm not good with this motion stuff. Can you,
It's a nice little moment, but he still looks like a dick. Like, he, again...
Yeah, he's like, take some water.
Bye.
That one FBI agent's like, staring.
These are the two officers.
Yeah, or the other person in there was just like...
Ryan.
In the interests of public safety, hereby proclaim to be...
What if Abbott gets this information about giant ants in a city? The
Gets
people
it. Abbott
of
gets-
Austin can take care of it. They have it can. fulfill
I'm
their
not
Second
going to
Amendment
require
right.
the murder of ants. The ants will die out in their own regards, or
Yeah.
humanity will die. I'm not going to force things, you know, for our own benefits. I'm going to allow things to occur. It's your own choice to fight the ants.
Yes,
Find him.
I will say that out of the two
Well, are
leads,
you sure you wouldn't
the
run away?
police was Sergeant
Yeah.
way better in terms of like his impact on the story, actual characters, trying to help people.
He really gets sidelined for like the latter third of this movie. Like he does a lot of little subtle things that make you like him.
It slowly changes over to the FBI agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I gave her a knife, so remember to tell her.
But there's some good moments like that where again, there's some good banter and some good tension.
Thank you very much.
Can't contact northern units, sir.
Let's go ahead anyway. General O'Brien to all search units. Proceed into
That would again, if I'm doing a modern twist, northern unit goes down because the ants took them out.
Yes, exactly. You would have a war situation with the ants on the ground fighting. Like, they'd come out of the ground and start attacking. You'd have soldiers in combat. Hell, you could even do, like, situation where drones, and, like, the small ones fly or something. Like, if you wanted to put it, like, I don't know, different type of ant mutation, whatever you want to call it.
No, we have to wait at the go in.
Or, like,
I mean,
when
they're
it comes
crawling
out,
on top and pick up the car.
what are you doing advancing with a Jeep? Advance with a goddamn tank. Or, like...
Well, the idea is ram it. Just ram it.
Listen to me. Stay where you are. We're gonna get you out of there, but don't move. Stay. There's 2 ants
Wow,
in here.
that kid
They're
is
strong brutal.
not reacting.
This is like the scene of a cutscene where you walk in on something and you're like, God damn it!
I get short mission I got to complete.
I love they're so eager to jump down into possibly a bunch of
Listen,
ants.
I'm gonna go fight some ants, okay? You saw Starship Troopers. They were so excited to fight until they actually ran into them, and they were like, "Oh God!" Flamethrower. Burn them. I was gonna say, if the girl died of shock or something, and he's like, "I'm not gonna let them happen again. I gotta save these two."
Yeah, you can't kill a kid in 1950s.
I'm just saying, I know, but it would.
They gave him a Wilhelm scream?
The died.
First off, this shot's great.
The other guy was so much better. To have him
But
die.
look, I don't mind if they kill him. If they make him likable, that's even better because again, there's stakes. I mean, it's hard to think of another movie that has
the main
first
lead
off.
died.
First off, it looked like the 2 officers were gonna be the lead, right?
Yeah.
And then he dies, and
now you're thinking, is he gonna die now?
it's like, oh God damn it!
Yeah. So now, yeah, okay, I get it now because you really think that guy, everything's on the table. He could die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes that scene more tense.
The job will be done when these are destroyed.
Okay, burn them up.
So when it shoots the camera, think of that in 3D.
Every time I'm like, does the detective die? And I'm like, oh right, he does, because he's he's such a good character. I kind of wish the FBI agent died. Like I don't think he deserved that.
No, not at all. Okay, so a couple things I will say.
Yeah.
First off, I'm surprised how much the build-up in the beginning worked.
Yeah.
Like, it honestly worked. It's a little cheesy, of course, because, 50s compared to art, but, like, the build-up of them trying to figure out what's going on, how can we handle the situation, all this stuff, does work. Then also, you think the 2 main, officers are going to be the leads.
Yeah.
Possibly. And then he gets taken out, so you're like, okay, anyone can go. Anyone could die in this, which is very different than most 50s monster movies, I would say.
Yes and no.
Okay, so there are... I will say, if you once you establish a main lead, or main cast of characters, like I think of Beast from 20,000 Fathoms,
Yeah.
in that, the scientist character goes halfway through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, everyone else lives. Even at the end, in the final battle. Here, there was actually tension in 2 instances. One with the ant coming and killing the sergeant, and one with the lieutenant, or the FBI guy, literally going mano-a-mano with 2 ants and just trying to hold out.
Until, again, I don't think those scenes don't work. I just think that the main character was done so well compared to he didn't have a love interest. He didn't have many things. He was just the lead, but he was the one that kind of helped the other people that kind of seemed to care, which is kind of disappointing. But yeah, this does kind of buck a lot of the trends of the time. Like, there is no, the love interest is given to the FBI guy, but he's kind of like a secondary lead.
Yeah, because he doesn't come in immediately. He comes in like 10 minutes in, whereas, unless I'm mistaken, isn't like Tarantula, like you have the lead comes in pretty close. Beast in 20,000 Fathoms, he's the guy who discovers it, so he follows throughout the entire story. Yeah, no, I'm trying, like a lot of them, it's usually person in. So that is, I will admit, that's a bit, that's different, but I think it works in this case because again, you do kill that officer. I don't think necessarily the love story, or if there's supposed to be a love interest.
No, I don't think it works as the connection. It's very, in that case, it's very weak.
Yeah, but no, overall, in like the little moments, being like, why don't you tell the wife she's right over there, or the mother, like that, like there's some good pauses and stuff like that.
Just a dick move.
But I will also say there's some good comedic bits in this, like the over stuff, the little bits with the shrink or the drunk person. Like, okay, yeah. But then also you deal with the shrink instance, and it's like, yeah, like it's a different time period, so you're forcing people to be like, yep, don't talk about it. We're gonna incarcerate you for months for no reason because national security.
Or give a 5-minute presentation on what is ants.
Yeah. So obviously it's like, this movie, if you're looking at it in a modern sense, it does have weaknesses. Like, there are, you could clearly put out weaknesses in this movie, right?
Yeah.
But, still, even with those weaknesses, I still think this holds up very well. Especially with the ants. I think the ants look good. Yeah. And in some instances, they move. They're moving pretty well. But I feel like there's other times you can see the ants moving very slowly or woodenly.
Yeah, and with the flamethrowers really sell them. Like, they torch those suit costumes.
Yes.
Like, there is no doubt, like, that is
when
how
the guy's running next to the body that's on fire, you can tell he's trying to dodge the flames.
Yeah, like, there is a sense of they are there. And are they, like, the most terrifying thing? No. But they are well put together, and yeah, they look great when they're under fire, which is exactly what you're gonna remember from this movie, is them under fire and getting attacked and busting through stuff. And
yeah, and I would say the kid characters are mostly fine. There's like that one kid at the end who's just obviously just sitting there, just doesn't care. The other kid's like visibly crying and tearing up, and then of course the girl at the beginning, like, they use her well, like, I would say.
No, yeah, so, she's used well, and so are the kids in the end part. It's just, again, you can tell it's a 50s movie because there's a lot of explanation. There's a lot of, like, the characters you don't see, like, their motivation and whatnot as much. And I think that's the benefit of this movie is, or, like, modern movies, is that usually there's, like, a theme or running connection or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one has, like, the theme at the end that kind of pops in, more with the philosophical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not... How do I put this? It is not directly in the forefront, like Godzilla, right? Beast of 20,000 Fathoms had a little bit, but it wasn't at the forefront necessarily. Well, it's at the forefront in the beginning, but doesn't really keep its length. This one has it really at the end, and a little bit throughout, but it's not like... They're not trying to say nuclear war is bad, is what I'm trying. They're just like, we don't know what we're getting into, so
yeah, shit is gonna get crazy. Yeah,
we have to deal with giant ants now, as a possibility. But no, I think it works. And I think for a 67-year-old movie, like, to put it bluntly, like, the time to this movie, if you went back, film would not, like. There's no film industry.
Yeah.
So, like, I will say, as the grandfather of monster movies in many ways, this still holds up pretty well.
This is a good time. It has a great pace. Like, it keeps going.
Yeah.
Like, and the set pieces that they do
a little bit in the middle, I would say. There's a few instances in the middle, but like the boat sequence, I'm like, even it's like 30 seconds, but like that's like, oh god. But no. But any final thoughts?
It's a good movie that holds up very well.
Yep. All right, and yeah, thank you all for watching. It again. Eventually, check out our my creature feature review on it, and I go into more detail about the production and history and all that stuff, along with my overall thoughts on the individual aspects of the film more thoroughly. But anyway, this has been Greyshot 17,
And Greyshot 151.
and we'll see all of you next time.